Welcome to Business Review, a daily program that delves into the latest and most significant economic stories. From stock markets to currency news, Business Review covers the most up-to-date developments in the global economic world.
Cuba's cash-strapped government said on February 7th it would start selling cars in tradable currencies rather than in convertible Cuban pesos this month as it continues to dollarize swathes of its retail sector. In recent months, the government has opened up around $80 stores selling some items such as home appliances and car parts. Until the recent changes, the state, which has a monopoly on most of the retail sector, had sold such items in the country's convertible peso, which it says is equivalent to the dollar but has no value abroad. Tradable currencies had not been deemed legal tender for purchase in Cuba since 2004. The government announced on Thursday that the country would continue to open more dollar stores this year, and stores would expand the range of products they sell to include, for example, electrical generators, security systems, and heaters. Transport Minister Eduardo Rodriguez de Villa said during a roundtable discussion that cars would now be sold in tradable currencies. The government also said there would be a discount of 10% on the current price in convertible pesos, although that means they will remain at a huge markup, giving the current markups of 400% or more. As such, modern cars are unlikely to crowd out the 1950s vintage Chevys and Soviet-era Ladas that still dominate Cuba's streets anytime soon. Cuban stores continue to sell food and basic household items in convertible pesos, or its other currency, the local peso.
Nissan Motor Corporation will temporarily halt production at its plant in Kyushu, southwestern Japan, due to the coronavirus as the outbreak starts to strain the global supply chain. Nissan, the first automaker to halt production at a plant in Japan because of the outbreak, was finding it increasingly difficult to procure parts from China. The stoppage could impact production of around 3,000 vehicles. Nissan will halt 2 production lines at the Kyushu plant from February 14th, underlining the extent to which manufacturers in the world's third largest economy are reliant on China for supplies. The coronavirus outbreak, declared a global health emergency by the World Health Organization, has disrupted Chinese manufacturing, and that is having an effect on plants abroad.
Hyundai Motors said on Tuesday, February 4th, that it will suspend production in South Korea, its biggest manufacturing base, becoming the first major automaker to do so outside China, due to disruption in the supply of parts resulting from the coronavirus outbreak. Hyundai already stopped production of the popular Palisade over the weekend due to a shortage of components from China. According to a union official, most of Hyundai's South Korean factories will be fully idled from February 7th, while some production lines are expected to restart on February 11th or February 12th. A Hyundai spokesperson said schedules for suspension will vary by production line. The flu-like virus has killed hundreds and spread to about 24 nations, sparking fears for global economic growth and rattling markets, with Shanghai's stock index losing some $400 billion in market value on February 3rd.
Formula One champions Mercedes sent a statement of intent about their future on Monday, February 10th, with the announcement of a 5-year principal sponsorship deal with British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe's petrochemicals giant Ineos. Mercedes F1 boss Toto Wolff hailed a new chapter for a team who has won the last 6 drivers and manufacturers titles, with Lewis Hamilton chasing his 7th career crown this season. Formula One is entering a new era in 2021, and the teams, including Mercedes, have yet to sign a new agreement with US-based commercial rights holders Liberty Media beyond this year, with some evident sticking points. Mercedes parent Daimler said in November it would cut at least 10,000 jobs and reduce staff costs by around 1.4 billion euros or 1.16 billion pounds by the end of 2022, but Wolff said Formula One worked for the carmaker. The Ineos principal partnership is one rung below title sponsorship, with Petronas filling that role at Mercedes, and represents the latest sporting investment by a company already involved in running, sailing, cycling, and soccer. Mercedes already had a performance partnership with the company, working with the Team Ineos cycling outfit and Olympic yachtsman Ben Ainsley's Ineos Team UK in a challenge for Sailing's America's Cup in 2021.
Japan's Sony Corp on February 10th became the 5th company to pull out of this month's Mobile World Congress over fears related to coronavirus, adding to the uncertainty hovering over the world's premier telecoms industry gathering. The event, which attracts over 100,000 visitors to Barcelona, is slated to take place February 24th through 27th. Sony said their launch event for the Congress would now be held via video. Sony stressed that their highest attention goes to safety and well-being of the customers, partners, media and employees, adding that they have taken the difficult decision to withdraw from exhibiting and participating at MWC 2020 in Barcelona, Spain. Recent days have seen Amazon.com Incorporated, South Korea's LG Electronics, Swedish equipment maker Ericsson, and US chip maker Nvidia withdraw from the event. No further immediate comment was available from GSMA, the organizers of the event, and an industry association representing more than 750 operators and 400 companies in the mobile business. The measures add to earlier actions aimed at preventing the spread of the virus across the event's 3 main venues, including changing microphones between speakers and advising all attendees to adopt a no handshake policy.
Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador gave details on Friday, February 7th, of a raffle aimed at covering the cost of a luxury presidential plane he has struggled to sell, clarifying that winners will get $1 million in cash rather than a plane itself. Mexico has yet to find a buyer for the $130 million Boeing 787 Dreamliner in an attempt to put an end on luxury spending, as the president chooses to travel on commercial airways rather. Last month, López Obrador floated the idea of raffling off the plane itself. On Friday, however, López Obrador made clear that the 100 holders of winning tickets would get $1 million in cash. The raffle aims to raise some 3 billion pesos, or about $160 million, with sales to begin on March 1st. The president added the cash prizes, the lottery would raise about $53 million for public hospitals. Attempts will continue to sell or lease the spacious jet, which has been reconfigured to fly only 80 people, has a large presidential suite and a private bath. The winning tickets, selected from 6 million sold, will be announced on September 15th, the day before Mexico's Independence Day. López Obrador has made a point of crisscrossing Mexico aboard commercial flights, often taking fellow passengers by surprise. He has auctioned off many smaller government planes and helicopters.
Hundreds of artisans converged on Mexico City's Zocalo Square on Friday, February 5th, to turn trash into art, recycling organic and plastic rubbish for a massive carpet-style installation. According to reports, 200 families from Oriengato's region painstakingly put together this piece of recycled art. Items such as bottle tops and corn leaves are hand-painted in pre-Hispanic colors. This piece of art reportedly measures 3,000 square meters, making it the largest art piece of its kind in the world. The people behind the work, directed by the Oriengato artisans, volunteered through the capital's Institute of Youth and the DIF Family Services Agency. They began laying the first colorful materials on February 3rd and finished on Thursday. Mexico City residents and visitors have until February 12th to appreciate their work.
This has been Business Review, your daily source for the most critical stories in the financial world. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.